good morning everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Jairis and I'm the social media and marketing team leader for Team ESTEEM. Before I start the interview with Martin, I would like to give you a small introduction of what Team ESTEEM is and what our goals are in the campaign and in the project. So Team ESTEEM's goal is to raise awareness for a sustainable way of living. Our aim is to show that construction and lifestyle improvement can be successfully implemented while creating a blueprint for future generations and encouraging practicality of such a project. We are a multidisciplinary team of over 60 students, and we are from all over the world. We understand that sustainability is a global concern, and this is why we want to inspire people to make choices that cultivate a sustainable lifestyle. Therefore, we aim to demonstrate how using modular living solutions could help challenging and perception of a non-wasteful and building economy. We are working with such amazing sponsors that are helping us with this project. I will give you a few of them. And the first one is Concreated, which they are going to help us to build a 3D printed concrete wind tower that is going to generate natural ventilation for our house. We are, and also the design of this wind tower is going to be from Thornton Tomasetti. And Paul HR, another of our sponsors, and they are going to give us a heat recovery system to recover heat and cool within the house, which is going to reduce the energy demand. A large format cross-laminated timber manufactured in Scotland is going to be provided by Construction Scotland Innovation Centre. Constructing on a logical grid pattern and terratonics, they are going to help us to have this challenge in the house and to make it like stable. And ARVNCO, they are going to give us an internal condition monitor with sensors that is going to allow us to have a comfortable boosting in our well-being. Prefabricated timber panels transported and assembled on site within the assistance of ASGC with the innovative features that is going to be provided by Rhodoplast, which is amazing. And finally, we have our garden space around the house, which is going to be used to grow food and plants that is going to be provided by Rember. Now, let's continue with our interview. Hello, Martin. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's an early morning for me, 10 o'clock.
I know, but this is like something that we want to do every week to try to make everybody see our amazing team leaders. So I have a few questions about the design and the philosophy of the house. I don't know if maybe you can tell me a little about yourself. Maybe we wait for some other people to join.
Yeah, so I'm Martin, as Jairis introduced me. I'm originally from Slovakia, and I moved to UK when I was 17. I moved down to Manchester, where I studied for 3 years, and then I moved up to Edinburgh to study at the university here, and I took a gap year to travel and things like that. So that's me. I love architecture, so that's why I'm the team leader for architecture and interior design on this team. But I also have lots of other hobbies like hiking, dancing, acrobatics, and anything that keeps me active, really.
Amazing.
I feel like a summary of me.
I'm going to ask you a few questions. I would like to ask you if you can tell me what are you studying in Heriot Watt and why did you choose that career?
So my course is called Structural Engineering with Architectural Design, and I chose it really because it combines both of the industries that I really love. From very young age, I always wanted to study architecture, but then later on I realized how much it's based mainly on just drawings and design itself, and not much maths is involved and things like that. And I was always very good at maths and physics, So I decided to like combine it. So it's really like engineering and architecture together, although it's more based on engineering, which is going to be quite handy when I'm looking for my first job. I also chose the course because Edinburgh is one of the I've got two universities that offer this course. One of them is Edinburgh University, one of them is Heriot Watt, and other two universities in country that offer it, one is in Ireland, I believe, in Sheffield. So the choice was really between these three cities. And Edinburgh was a place where I always really wanted to be. I loved Manchester. I enjoyed my time in there. But after 3 years, I kind of felt like I could see something different. And Edinburgh was the place because you can just see the history around here. You feel really immersed in the history here, and it's just a beautiful place to be at.
Yeah, that's true. I love Edinburgh as well. And so, how did you find out about Team ESTEEM, and why did you join us? Like, why did you join the team?
So I found out at the very beginning, and I found out through an email actually. So Alex McLaren, our project manager, and she sent out an email across the schools for people to join, and it seemed really interesting. I personally am a very active person, and I always have to have some projects going on. And if I don't, I'll make something up and I'll work on something random. I've joined different competitions before in design with some of my like students in my course and stuff that like I sort of gathered, and I was like, let's do something more than it just at the university. Always want to do a bit more than just my degree to gain the experience somewhere else as well. And working on such an amazing project like this one is, and actually I joined when I was in my first year. So from a first year working on a real construction project that will actually happen in future, it was very exciting. So yeah, I wanted to be involved from the very beginning.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's such an amazing project. So,
yeah.
Following that question, so what does Team ESTEEM mean to you?
So Team ESTEEM, I mean, truly so the name was created as a acronym of all the schools in the Heriot Watt University, and it really is that, like, we cooperate with all the different schools and people from different faculties through the university. But it's also like the teachers that you communicate with that I wouldn't normally come across so it's really good for problem solving, I must say. I must say that, like, because we've done a lot of that in architecture specifically, and it's great to have people from different backgrounds and different courses when looking at one problem, because we all see very different issues. You know, a mind of an engineer, like somebody that is just from structural engineering, for example, will be usually quite very strict in like how to make it as simple as possible and functional as well. But then you have people in the team from various different courses, people even from business school, and you know, they look obviously at the things less with engineering perspective, more so with their personal view on the actual design and the aesthetics of it, you know. So you've got people from different backgrounds, and that allows for various opinions, which is really handy. And that's really what ESTEEM is for me. And in the same time, like, I've made so many friends, and again, with people that I wouldn't usually meet with. And that's not just from different schools, but also from different years, because there's such a variety in our team. And there's master's students, there's first year students still joining and stuff. So yeah, it really, I love the variety of our team and how international it is, you know. Like, there's been numerous times when I was like, oh my God, this is my travel dream, and then somebody's from there. Like, we've got people from Madeira. I wanted to go to Madeira, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I like that as well, that we're all international.
Yeah, and there's one other Slovakian in the team as well, which is really exciting.
Who is there? I don't know. Who is...
That's Joe.
Oh!
Joe's from Slovakia as well. It was kind of random. We were on one of our socials when I found out because I heard him talking about Slovakia. I was like, why are you talking about my country? What are you talking about? He was like, that's my country. The only other Slovak person in Heriot Watt University that I know, and he's on our team.
See, that's even better. Okay, so I have a few other questions about like the design itself. So what is your architecture and interior design team doing at this precise moment? What are you working on?
So currently we've gone beyond the stage of really designing. We're making less and less designing decisions, and more so we do now we have to take them into the final stages. So like picking the correct companies and stuff. So we know what sort of material finishes we want. We've picked the different types of flooring or color of flooring, but we now need to go to the manufacturers and contact the companies. But I appreciate that right now is not probably the best time to contact all the companies. And so we're really just waiting for the good time when we can contact them and pick the specific products that we would use for our material finishes. So that would be walls, floors, and ceilings. Currently, we're talking about ceilings actually. But yeah, we've gone beyond really the what is the idea of our house and how we want it to look. I think we're pretty clear on that. There are a few minor details that we come across every now and then that we need to specify a bit more. But in general, yeah, we're just picking the final product now.
Yeah, I know. I have seen some of them, and it looks amazing. You're actually like creating your own furniture, which is so nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to use some of the waste products from the construction so that is very exciting for us. So to be able to design something ourselves and probably be able to build a university as well, and something that really goes with the message of sustainability. Yeah, it's really cool. We're trying to get inspired by, for example, Scottish-born architect Charles René Mackintosh. So, for example, the dining chairs in the dining room are inspired by him, designed by amazing Sonia and Alessandro on our team. So yeah, so we're trying to get inspiration from cultures and stuff, and it's really going well.
Yeah, I know, I've seen it, and it looks amazing. Okay, so another question. So what kind of style are you using in the interior design? I have seen that you're using like a different style or color for each one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so we chose like the general color palette for the house, which is going to be in like grays and greens. We want it to still look very modern, but we really wanted to make sure that each of the rooms within the house really connects you to the culture in some way. And when I say to the culture, I really talk about the Scottish and the UAE culture at the same time. So we are trying to sort of in every room include something, whether that's ornaments or whether that's something that is very traditional for the culture. Like in the dining room, we'll have this big lamps over the table that will be traditional Arabic sort of style, and then we'll have a rack in the living room that will be very inspired by the designs of the rugs in UAE. But then equally we'll have tartan behind the bed, so that's something Scottish. We'll try and include thistle in places and the ornaments with thistle, and as I said earlier, chairs inspired by Charles and Mackintosh. So it's really, there will be like cultural pieces that will take you back and connect you back to the culture, and those will be like the essential pieces in the room. But in general, the house will feel very modern.
That's nice because it makes it unique, and when people walk in, they are gonna see, oh man, they are gonna feel part of the house as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a little step out from the house, and I want to ask you, like, what things are you doing to maintain yourself, like a well-being? What activities are you doing now?
I'm currently in the lockdown, so the lockdown was very difficult for me from the beginning, because I'm a very active person, as I mentioned earlier, and I usually don't have a day off in a week, and I truly enjoy it that way. I set my life that way, that I didn't really have too much time off, because I like to do something all the time, and that is quite difficult during quarantine. So I decided to learn some new software skills, whether that's through this team that I had to use for the latest deliverable. I had to learn a lot of AutoCAD and Revit skills.
Yeah.
But I've also been teaching myself through loads of YouTube tutorials on how to use softwares like Blender, which is a 3D designing software. You can do all sorts of things on there, and also improving my skills on SketchUp and similar software. So that is like my learning outcome of this lockdown, to keep my mind occupied all the time. But I also do some running and a lot of walking. So I try to go outside and spend about an hour outside every day. I do about 2 times a week my 5-kilometer run and stuff. So I'm trying to keep active and stay active to be ready to go back when it finally opens.
Yeah, I know. I totally get you. Me too. I'm trying to take myself busy and everything. So I also want to ask you about your amazing experience that you had in Dubai. So tell us how was your experience? What did you do?
So it was really good opportunity to go into Dubai, and I was really looking forward to it because I had really busy time just before I went, and I was like, yay, I've got holidays. But it was really probably as far from holidays as you can imagine. I got hardly any sleep. We went to Dubai just to give people a bit of perspective. We were invited to Dubai by the competition organizers to join a set of conferences in there and to talk about the rules and any questions that we might have. And 3 of us were selected by our amazing team. And so that would be me, Scott, and Jessica that went over to Dubai for a few days. So we flew there overnight, and I'm a rough sleeper, and I got no sleep on the plane, maybe like an hour. And I had a full day ahead of me. We landed at about 7 in the morning. So yeah, it was really like I got no sleep throughout the whole trip, but it's really exciting. I mean, it was so busy, but it was so full of information for the project. Like I got back so excited about working on this, and we got back so much more focused because there was a lot of unanswered questions just before we went, and a lot of questions that we didn't even have until they said something, you know, like we came up with all these different questions on there, and all these different solutions to different problems that we had at the time. And I don't even remember half of the information that I got there because there was so much. But luckily, I wrote it all down and gave it to the team leaders that really needed to work with those problems. And yeah, equally it was amazing to see the other teams, and it really got like real. When we were there, it really got sense of reality. Like this is really happening. We're in the competition. We're building with all the other universities, and we got to speak to teams from the other year, from 2018 competition. Yeah, it was really exciting. So.
That's amazing. And what was the most amazing thing that you saw there? Like something that blew your mind?
Right. So I'm a very indecisive person, so that will be a difficult one to answer for me. So I'll sum it to like 3 things, if I may. 2 of them relate to each other. So one is that, you know, when you talk of natural beauty, a lot of people just imagine forest and a lot of plants. What in UAE is not very true, and it's a lot of, obviously there's a lot of desert around it, but it's got like its own beauty, and I absolutely loved. We went on a trip onto the sand dunes, and it was absolutely stunning to see the natural beauty of UAE, and that truly that like their nature and wildlife is just as beautiful as ours, just very different. So it was one of the things that I really loved. And the other things would be the high-rise buildings. You know, coming from Edinburgh, where the tallest buildings are around 50 meters tall, to somewhere where the tallest building is about 800 meters tall, like the landscape of the city and the skyline of the city is absolutely amazing. And I've never been in such place, and like my neck was hurting after the trip from looking up all the time, and it was beautiful, all the marble structures that we saw there, and that never get really any credit because there's just so many tall, beautiful buildings, and a lot of them I've never seen in, like, I've got a lot of books on architecture, and I always follow lots of different channels on architecture, and there are just so many things that I haven't seen that are actually in Dubai, and it's a marvelous city for architects and engineers, and in particular, I would go into talking about Burj Khalifa. So that was my big dream, to go into the world's tallest building, and I got to do it with Scott, which was really exciting. We went up to the 140th floor or something like that. It was amazing to like see everything from up there, and to be in the tallest building structure in the world or building in the world was really really good experience.
That's amazing. I would love to go to Dubai as well.
You will get to.
Yeah, I hope so. So, we are stepping into the architecture again. So we heard that you like 3D printing. And do you have anything that you can show us, and why do you print it, and are you going to put this in the house?
Yeah, so I've got my own 3D printer, and I bought that not so long ago, a few months ago actually. I think it was in January that I got it. And since then I've used it to print various things. At the beginning it was a lot of like learning how to print properly. A lot of the prints didn't come out very well. But yeah, I've got a few things to show. Not many, because most of the things that I've printed I'll either given out, or I've used them for the project already. So on our model of the house, we've got some, like the wind tower 3D printed, and the arches around were 3D printed. So I've used it a lot for that, and then other things for the project as well. So a lot of things are already stuck at university. But I designed the arches, like a little version of them, and it was truly exciting for me because it's a design of my own, the arches, and we sort of obviously tweaked it with all the other teams and everything. But it's really exciting to see something that you created to take a form. So it's like, I know that it's just a little 3D printed archway, but for me it's like something that I designed has actually taken a form, and you can touch it. Even though it's really small, it's really exciting for me. And I got it really because I've been designing buildings and things from very young age, and I've got a lot of it on my computer. And I just thought it would be nice to have like little 3D prints of my houses. But also what you can use it for is anything in the house. So I needed a soap holder.
Oh, nice.
So I printed my soap holders. And I also printed a little drawer that was meant to go under the printer, but the print went sort of wrong there. So
with the soap, did you design the pattern?
No. There's a lot of I wanted to, but it gets quite problematic when you start designing your own things that you actually want to be functional. And so I found this holder on one of the websites. You can download a lot of 3D designs online, and then just download them for anything in your house really that you need.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks really, really nice. And so we are launching a new campaign, as you know, which is what is your favorite room and why? Can you tell us something about this?
My favorite room in the house would probably be living room. I love plants, and there's a lot of space for my plants in the living room. I've got about 8 there. So I love spending my time with my plants. But also it's like a place that is very sociable, where I meet my flatmates. So it's just, yeah, I think living room would be my favorite room of the house. It also gets like the sunlight from 2 ends, so there's a lot of daylight all the time. So yeah, living room would be my favorite room, I guess.
Yeah, mine is the kitchen because I like dancing while I cook.
I do that too.
Yeah. So finally, we know that you have an amazing challenge that you want to introduce to the team. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I want to challenge architecture team leaders from other teams to join us in this challenge. Well, all team members from other teams, but I personally will challenge over my Instagram 2 other teams. So please stay tuned, and one other person from our team as well. And I would like to encourage the other teams to then challenge other teams as well within the competition. So there's about 21 universities, I believe, at the moment. And so please do try and communicate to increase the communication across the teams. And the challenge is by taking a picture in a random spot in your house. So whatever place you pick, can be your favorite room. Put some random outfit on, so something that doesn't really go with where you are. And do an activity that again doesn't really go with the outfit that you have and the place that you have. So I've got so it's a random outfit, random place, random activity challenge that I created to raise up the spirit in the quarantine time.
And also to join
Stay
us.
tuned, I'll post it later on today. Pardon? Sorry, same.
No, that is also a way to join like other teams, to meet them, to try to interact. Yeah, I like the challenge. I'm all for that.
Exciting.
So thank you very much, Martin, for joining us today and for sharing us all this amazing information. And I hope you have an amazing morning. And for next week, we have Kelvin, which is the renewables team leader. So he's going to be answering some of the questions like Martin. And do you have anything that you would like to add, Martin, before we close?
I don't know. Maybe just to thank all the sponsors and the magazines that have featured us. And it's very exciting to see our project and building that we all designed together to see on the news or in the magazines. I would really like to thank Comfort and Urban Realm and Edinburgh Evening News and all this. It is really exciting to be able to see our building and our names in newspapers and magazines. And I really like to thank all the team because even though there are things that could be specifically pointed to people within the house and ideas that could be specifically pointed to different people within the house, I think all of them sort of evolved throughout the time. So even though one person had an idea, we evolved all ideas with everyone. And looking at the final product, looking at the final house, I cannot even tell you, like, you cannot pinpoint like whose ideas were all these, you know. You have to really, like, it was really work across the teams, and it was a lot of like architecture. Not even the architecture of the house was not even designed by just the architecture team. It was everyone was involved, whether that was with the design of the wind tower, or it was the engineers asking us to do changes and then us cooperating together. So it's really, really, I would like to thank everyone in the team for this amazing journey so far.
Thank you, and also to our amazing sponsors, Concreator, Thornton Tomasetti, Paul HR, Construction Scotland Innovation Centre, Terratonics, Herb NCO, ACE SGC, and the last one is Rainbow. So I think we all make this amazing team and this amazing design idea. So,
yeah, we do.
So see you, everybody. See you next Monday, and thank you, Martin. Have a great day.
Thanks very much, Jairis. Thank you, and you as well.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.